Laker fans, what's going on? My name is Sammy Long. This is another Laker preview video. Per usual, doing one for every game this season, kind of giving everybody some things to watch out for in the upcoming Laker game. The Lakers got Washington coming to town. Washington is 6-35. They have the worst record in the entire NBA. This is not a good team. This is a team the Lakers can't lose to. So we're gonna get to them in a little bit, but still, this is a team that the Lakers need to win. We'll get to a preview of them coming up shortly. A report from The Athletic that just came out I thought was interesting, telling about the trade deadline and some possible moves the Lakers might or might not make. But first, let's start with that game against the Clippers. I mean, there's no energy. It seems odd playing your crosstown rival in the Intuit Dome the first time, and it was just no outside of LeBron and Rui and Connect. LeBron had 25 points, 11 assists, doing what he normally does. Rui, 19 points, 9 of 14 from the field. I thought that was big. 7 rebounds. AD did not have a good night. 16 points on 5 of 14 shooting. Really off night for him. You're not usually going to see that. I mean, still managed to get 16, but when AD is scoring in the teens, it's not usually a recipe for success. Reeves, 14 points on 4 of 6. Kind of surprised he only took 6 shots. Christie played all right, 10 points, 4 of 7, better than how he had been playing. Jackson Hayes, 4 points on 2 of 2 shooting. Dorian Finney-Smith, I thought, missed some really tough shots at the end of that game. When the Lakers were making a bit of a run, he went over 3. All of his field goals were threes. He missed 2 threes at the end of that game when they were making the run. So I just really did not hit some timely shots. Reddish and Jemison did not play, same as Milton. Connect had 10 points, 3 of 4, and I see him coming out of his slump a little bit. And Vincent kind of came back down to earth a little bit with 4 points. So it shocked me the lack of effort. And Zubac destroyed the Lakers. And that was something Anthony Davis, I don't know why. It's some guys he dominates, some of the best bigs in the NBA, and then some guys like Zubac, no one was getting a body on him. Team rebounding was not happening. And, when you score 16 points from your first or second best player, however you want to argue it, it's not usually a recipe for success. It's just not going to happen. And you need more help from the supporting cast. It's nice to see Rui kind of taking on that role. I'm really surprised Reeves only took 6 shots. That needs to be higher. I mean, the fact that he shot 4 of 6 and 14 points, he was doing pretty well from the field. But I mean, the Lakers, they were just the Clippers, were attacking all night. I mean, Norman Powell was getting whatever he wanted. Kawhi was hitting those kind of baseline jumpers. James Harden hit some big shots at the end of the game, especially when the Lakers were making the run. So, I mean, you give a team like the Clippers that big of a lead to spot, that when you get down to where you cut it to a 12 or a 10 or an 8, they just go to iso ball. I mean, they do have a big-time scores between Kawhi, Norman Powell, and James Harden. When you give them iso ball looks, they're a pretty tough team to beat. But when you make them play the team offense and you're making them constantly kind of push it around and playing from a deficit, it's a little bit different story. But it does suck. It's the first of 4 against the Clippers, so we will see this team 3 more times. Early February back in the Intuit Dome, and then the last 2 will be in LA against the in crypto against the Clippers. This is a team right in front of you in the standings. This is why this game sucks. The Lakers really have not performed well against teams right above them or below them. The Mavs had that bad loss. The Suns, they lost a couple straight games to them, and then the Clippers starting off 0-1 against them. So you got to win some of these matchups because it could come back to bite the Lakers at the end of the year when they're looking for tiebreakers and seeding and things like that. That's why we really want to get that victory against the Spurs. That next game is crucial because you win that tiebreaker. You got to have some tiebreakers against teams. Hopefully the Lakers bring it next time they play the Clippers, because the other night certainly was not an encouraging performance. But moving on to the Athletic report, a lot of these coming out with a trade deadline, right around the corner. Johan Buha, who's great at this, he works for The Athletic. He says the, quote, sense from rival scouts and front office executives around the NBA is the Lakers are more likely to either stand pat or make a, quote, half-measure trade rather than try and go all in on the move. Buha did note this approach is dependent which players will be available, the asking prices for those players, and how the Lakers perform over the next 2 weeks before the deadline. And then Buha cited a big man or another ball handler as areas they would prioritize. So these are very crucial 2 weeks because you're seeing – it seems like every team wants Austin Reeves, and the Lakers are like, no, which I like. I don't think you should give away Reeves when he's really starting to grow into a big-time scorer role ever since D'Angelo Russell left. There was another report that Jared Vanderbilt, to move him to the team, teams around the league don't view that contract as a good contract. There's 3 years left on the deal. He obviously hasn't played all year, and they think that they might have to attach a first-round pick in that deal to move him. So Teams may be worried about this foot injury. Is he going to be able to be the same defender? Because we know the limitations offensively for Vanderbilt. He really makes his living on playing extremely well on ball defense. So I don't. It's going to be interesting to see if a guy gets hot in the next 2 weeks. The Lakers try to move him. If it's not Reeves, I think they probably stand pat. Valanciunas, who we're going to see in this game tonight, it would be a nice piece. He's 32 years old, center for the Wizards. The Lakers have been linked to him for, it feels like, years now. All the way back to the offseason when LeBron said that he would actually take a pay cut to get Valanciunas, but he ended up signing with the Wizards on a 3-year deal. I like that the Lakers aren't, again, kind of touching on my last video, going all in on a move for Jimmy Butler or someone like that. It just feels like slapping a Band-Aid on a problem. I think the Lakers need to develop for the future. I do think that some minor moves can make this team a headache in the playoffs for some people, but going all in, trading all the young assets, I'm tired of the Lakers trading away all their first-round draft picks. I think that those are crucial, and you see what happens. You can land a connect. There's a lot of guys in the NBA, Jaquez and Podziemski, even in the later picks that are starting to kind of develop into good players in this league. It sucks to just be constantly trading them away for aging vets. Now, if you can land a young superstar, that's great, but those usually aren't on the market and probably aren't coming up. So it'll be interesting to see if they do land a center or a ball handler, another guy. It's curious to me that they're not giving Shake Milton a few more looks. They kind of gave him a few looks the first few games, and some of that was due to injury. There were some guys out, but Shake Milton, I do think, would be interesting to get a look at instead of going to trade for another ball handler. See what you have, because Shake Milton is 28, and see maybe he could be here for a few years. But I don't know. Reddick's obviously calling the shots, not me, and he must see something in him. So we'll see with that. Looking at Washington, the team, not a good team. 6-35, worst record in the NBA by like 4 games. This team is tanking. They are trying to get a really high pick. The Lakers are currently favored by 13.5 points in Vegas. The total set at 228.5. That came down from 231.5. As always, for all you gamblers out there. On the injury side for the Lakers, LeBron is probable. The only really note is Anthony Davis is questionable with right calf soreness. So this does happen. We saw this last week against the Nets. The Lakers do try to rest Anthony Davis on games that they should win. I think for us fans, it's a little nauseating because if you blow this game, I mean, this is a catastrophic loss. This is a loss or a game that you're expected to win handily. As usual, Bando, Shafino, and Wood are out. The last 5 games for the Wizards have been free wins for everyone in the Western Conference. They lost to Oklahoma City. They lost to Minnesota. They lost to Phoenix. They lost to the Warriors. And they lost to the Kings. They have 10 straight losses. The last time they won was New Year's Day over the Bulls. As I mentioned, 6-35, worst record in basketball. On the Wizards side of things, Marvin Bagley is out. The big center, Malcolm Brogdon, and Sadiq Bey are all out for them. So, this is – the Lakers have to win. This is a catastrophic loss. If you're trying to flush the Clipper game, this is a possible trap game. You got the Celtics on Thursday. That's the game that everyone's looking for, everyone's excited for. You cannot lose a game like this, especially when the rest of your peers in the Western Conference are beating them. These are one of the games that you need to win handily. It'd be nice to win handily and be able to get some guys out of the game. If Anthony Davis doesn't play, it'd be nice to go sit LeBron for the second half. The Lakers don't normally do that. They usually like to keep it close. Jordan Poole, a little bit about the team. Jordan Poole leads the team in points per game, assists per game, and steals per game. He's kind of got the keys to the car. They let him shoot whatever he wants because, again, this team is trying to tank. Jonas Valanciunas, who we were talking about earlier, leads the team in rebounding with about 8 per game. Be interesting to see if he comes over the Lakers. Our old friend Kyle Kuzma is playing on that team, having a decent year. And then Sarr, their big top pick. He's been a little up and down. He's a big man, shot blocker. He went on a little streak there last month where he was playing pretty well, kind of still adapting to the game. They don't really know what they have in him yet, but we will see him tonight. Carlton Carrington usually rounds out the starting lineup. And then Bilal Koulibaly and Keyshawn George, Corey Kispert, nice player from Gonzaga. He's had some big games against the Lakers before. And then Justin Champagnie. So a lot of guys that they're probably not looking to be here and then for the Wizards in the next few years. The guys you got to watch out for, we all know Kyle Kuzma could kind of go off at any night. Jordan Poole will shoot a ton of shots. So Jordan Poole will be jacking up from everywhere. I would not be surprised if the Lakers try to put Max Christie on him to try to limit some of those. And Valanciunas got Anthony Davis really got to have a step up game because we saw what happened the other night against Zubac. Got to do this to Valanciunas. Hopefully Valanciunas is playing for the Lakers in a week or two. That would be great, but still Again, the Lakers should win handily. Again, favored in Vegas by 13.5. It would be great. Be great to get the Lakers out of the game in the third, fourth quarter, get them some rest because the big weekend ahead with the Celtics and the Warriors coming up. So some really crucial games. So, and if you beat the Celtics but you lose to Washington, you're still 1-1. So the Lakers need to win this game, get back on the right track, flush that loss to the Clippers, and hopefully, Alan, we'll get you guys on the post game show. We'll be talking about a Laker W. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, and hope you guys have a good day. Thank you.